Hey Clashers, with the latest balance changes, we had buffs and nerfs to troops, spells, and even equipments, but most importantly to the modifiers in Legends or in the two highest Electro Leagues, because defense is dealing less damage, heroes now again are dealing more damage, and this is a huge shadow buff to one strategy type, and that is Warden Charge with the Fireball. And obviously there's different versions out there of strategies with either Yetis or mass rocket loons, and we're going to go through those different options in this video, and I'll explain to you why this is such a massive deal for those strategies. Because you're not just taking less damage on your Warden or on your heroes or on your troops in general. This is obviously the same for every single strategy out there, but especially having your heroes now being stronger is a massive thing for every hero charge in general. If it's a Royal Champion charge, if it's a Warden charge, or even if there's a crazy person out there still playing a Queen charge, this is a massive buff for those strategies. Because this means time fails are less likely, power-wise, you have more power, and this is even though all of those troops in here pretty much are still have not received a Town Hall 18 level, and they are already so strong. So let's start things off with the first one, which is the mass, which is the Warden Charge with the Yeti combination. We're going through how you play it, and then we're switching to the Rocket Loons, and then a third version of the Fireball. The big difference. Oh, and we're getting one of those bases. The reason, by the way, if you want to defend mass throwers, this type of base is doing pretty well against the throwers. At this point, there's already many people doing videos about how you can take them out, but those double rage tower bases, that they can be tricky. But let's get back to the attack strategy. So first off, this one is a little bit easier than the Rocket Loon attack because you are getting more guaranteed the Town Hall because you have a big hero dive for the Town Hall. The next thing is that you usually have the Fireball going along with the hero dive. Because the issue, or the difference here is pretty much that with the Rocket Loons, you have only a few moving pieces. Let me first get the... Oh, we're still fine. So, you have many different moving pieces. With this one, it is pretty much all about only two things. The hero dive and the Fireball. So, we need to make sure that they are working together. So, we can use one invis here, there. I think that's already enough, right? I get that in there. Two of the earthquakes are used for the Fireball, one earthquake for the hero dive later on. So we can now add those furnace, get the test loon, let the Warden walk now for as long as he is safe, and then recall him. We have set up all the pathing from this right side because there's no defense at the top side. Those are only trash buildings, non-defensive buildings, right? So let's just enter here, get those things in. Ice Golem, Lock Launcher, the Yetis and everything. But keep an eye on your Warden. Even if there's less damage in the base, still can go down. Be careful about that. Now like this. We have a poison in here. Warden. He's about to face a lot of damage, so let's just yoink him out. Get him in here. We're adding the Roy Champion as support again because, well, I just think that if you're having the Roy Champ as a supportive tool, I think the Frostbite is just sort of better. But if you're using more to snipe down specific areas of the base, then make sure that you are using the rocket shield with the rocket spear with the shield. But for us now, I mean, no big surprise. I guess we're going to face some other bases as well. But this as an opening is quite a nice and easy base. Usually you can not do too many things wrong on this type of base, but. Worked out beautifully. I hope I was able to still showcase you the basics of this, which is Fireball. And the Fireball is able to set up the pathing for your hero dive and then recall your Warden away from your heroes so they can work separately. Well, now let's go for the next version of the Fireball charge text, which are really popular right now, and which are going to use as well by a lot of the top players which are using Warden Charge Fireball attacks in top legends. And if you're interested now more in Warden Charge, Rocket Loon attacks in general, you can as well make sure that you're watching even more content of this strategy when checking out Synthy, Word, or for example Dark. I will put all of their channel down below in the YouTube description because they're all playing different versions of this. And I think there's mostly two different versions out there. The first one, using the Roy Champion more as a snipe tool. This is probably only using the Rocket Spear with the shield. And then the other version, which is the Minion Prince. We're going to use both of those options. Let's start things off with the Roy Champion. And as well, there are many different options when it comes down to spells. This is the cool thing about this attack strategy, that you can really make it your own. Some people like to use druids. In this one, I don't have any. Some people like to use double rage. We're going to use double rage in this one. Next one, we're going to change that to maybe a skeleton spell or totem. So you have many options to make this strategy your own and use it in the way how it works the best for you personally. And there's no right or wrong, which is really great about this. But still, let's go into some attacks. I will try to show you what are the basics which you need to follow to make this attack work. And while the other attack is using the lock launcher always, this attack is nearly always about the flame flinger and how you can set up value around it. So first, let's see if we can find already a good flame flinger spot. But remember, you can use it in many different ways and how you can set up because you have so many rocket loons. As well, we want to see where we can use the Warden charge really nicely. I feel like, what is a good option? I feel like from this left side, maybe a Warden charge might be quite nice. Let's see. I want to have a fireball in somewhere here, so let's use one furnace. Let's double check again for the flame flinger. I feel like those flanks are well protected. Can we get closer somewhere? I think we could go in from this. Yeah, I think that from this bottom side, that looks great. If we get the expo, and we can just snipe the expo out with those rocket loons, right? Like, this is where this makes this overall really easy and simple, because we can just take them out like this. And then you need 4 rocket loons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we only use 3 because there are already some connecting. So we have that out. And now we're sending the lock launcher in here. So that's good. Next step for us is get that fireball. I think I want to have it like this maybe. So I get the clan castle. That's great. Now one more furnace from the top side because there's not too much splash. We have this one down here working for us, so that's great. We can always use some cleanup archers. That's amazing. Let's double check if there's any more Tesla that could pop up. Yep, there's another Tesla. That's amazing. Now we have to think, how do we approach the town hall, by the way? So let's see if we can somehow make that work. Maybe like that. Yeah, like this, maybe with an... Okay, Minion was supposed to go... Okay, that did not work. By the way, let's rage the Warden so he survives. How can we actually... Oh, I have an idea. Let's do that. I don't think that needs the recall for the Warden, so we triggered that. That's amazing. Down here we need something to protect that. And now we're sending in King and Queen. Perfect. So with this attack strategy, you need to be creative. Like, this is already the first thing which I can tell you. You need to be creative about many different things, okay? So how you approach those. Let's use the Headhunters for this. We can use another rage from a Warden at any point. I need to be careful there with those healers, though. Let's try to snipe that annoying defense right there. King ability, obvious reasons. Yep, that's gone. Perfect, perfect. We still have some rocket loons. Let's get them in at the top side here. Queen ability as well. Poison right there. A Warden is staying safe. Let's add that totem. Just like that. Some more cleanup. And this should be actually quite easy, no? If we get everything at this top side. Only time. But I think we are good to go if we... We'll just clean everything up from the top side, right? Like this. And then we freeze over here. And we're good to go. And you can see already what I mean. Where this modifier change is coming in. This would have been guaranteed a time fail. Obviously, we could have maybe tweaked some things here and there when it comes down to the like speed on when I'm using and deploying things, because obviously I try to commentate it at the same time. But still, with taking your time, you can run into a lot of time issues, which now are way more forgiving because you're still going to 3-star, okay? And this is where the modifiers are coming in. You need less spells for your heroes because they're taking less damage. The Warden is way quicker, so the time fail chance is way lower. And this is really where this, I guess, massive shadow buff is coming in, because the strategy itself was not directly buffed, and it only gets stronger. I mean, again, Furnace, Rocket Loons, all of those things should eventually get new levels, right? So with those things still eventually happening, Warden charges are going to be crazy in the future, and they're already now insanely strong, and a lot of people are high up in the ranks with it. But as I said, you have a different option for this attack strategy when it comes down to the heroes as well. For this one, we're now going to use the Minion Prince, with the Angry Jelly. On this one, you want to use the Metal Pants and then either the Noble Iron or the Dark Ore. Both work. I just think with the latest buff to the Noble Iron, it is really good for this attack strategy. That's why we're going to use it. As well, I've got rid of one of the ranges just to showcase the variety you can go with when it comes down to the spells and really trying to like go for whatever works best for you. If you feel like 2 rages are great, go for it. If you feel like only 1 rage is needed and then you want to have more support spells, totally fine as well. But let's dive into the next attack and let's see what we can do. Another base, no crazy fireball value, I think. At least I don't see anything too crazy right now. We could go, like, what is the option here? What are we going for? If we get, like, the expos are really annoyingly placed. That is already for sure. I think we're going in from this top side with the Warden for now. Can I go with the Flame Flinger somewhere here? That's the question. Maybe in between those two? Would that work? I think so, right? I think that should be out of... Okay, there are some Tesla, but that's okay. We can just easily take them out. And then we can use the Flame Flinger right there. We have to be careful here with the Warden. I want to use the Furnace now. The reason is you need to make sure that you're using those Furnace when it's the correct time. What do I mean by that? If there's splash damage, like, for example, I don't know, like the Multi-Arch Tower or the Super Wizard Tower, it's really likely that they're not making it to the target, so that's something you have to be careful about. But otherwise, we're looking good. Client Castle already getting lured. So my plan, which was originally going for the Client Castle as like a fireball spot, is not having as much value anymore because it's already lured. So we could just go for maybe the fireball on the Multi-Inferno Tower or something like that. Actually, I think right here might be a good thing. Yep. Head toucher quickly in there. Come on. Hopefully it's not too late. No, it's completely fine. The Flame Finger down here taking some nice value. And then we can use the heroes on the far left side, I believe. And let's recall the Warden in just a second. Okay, not anymore a second because that was unfortunate from the timing. The long shot was my Warden. That was not really good. So now we're having the heroes in here. And have wall break. That's really nice. Warden going from the right side. I think that looks really solid. We still have the support with the Minion Prince from this bottom side. And I think we're good to go for a really great attack. Now we have the... Let's get the totem in there. King ability. Baby Dragon maybe right here. So that's good. The Warden is still looking completely fine. But I think... No, actually looks really good what we have right here. I think it looks really solid. So we now have to push into the core. Let's distract that a little bit. The Warden more going towards the top side. We can now use the Minion Prince down here. Just like that. Queen ability. Let's distract this even further. We still have the ability of the Minion Prince if we need it. We can clean up down here with the Wizard already. We have still the Rage. I would just use it for the Minion Prince, for the Warden at this point. The Hawk Rider I didn't use for... I should have probably used for the lock launch. No, sorry, for the other siege. For the... What was the name? I can't even remember the name. What is going on? Flamefinger. Oh my, that was way harder than it should have been. But hey, that's another 3-step for us. Again, close on time. Again, I could have optimized things here and there with like not commentating and making and deploying things quicker. But really, the long story short is that you have now the more freedom when it comes down to time fails. It's less likely that it's going to happen, which is obviously a massive deal. And yeah, overall, or in general, Warden charge attacks with either Yetis or the Rocket Loons have received a really big shadow buff with those modifier changes. It is crazy the difference, and it feels really, really strong right now if you can control them. Give it a try yourself. I'll put those links down below in the description of the video, the same as the other 3 recommended Warden charge attackers. And that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.